Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Today we are talking about who is R. What we're going to be looking at today is all the information that we know that is directly from R, the initial R, and then we're going to take that and we're going to take all the comments that people have put together. Thank you everyone so much whoever put feedback on Facebook, Reddit and the comments section below. What I've done is I've compiled all that information together and using a lovely pie chart came to the conclusion of who is the most popular idea. What we're going to be doing in the next few days is taking the top 5 people who we think are the most likely to be R, and we're going to be looking at the evidence, breaking down some of the comments that people have made, some of their own theories about for each case. So we're going to get into whoever the 5 people are that are in the top 5 most popular ideas right after we just do a recap on what we know. The first contact that we had with R was via a note that we found. It was in code. Rowan obviously deciphered it because he's crazy intelligent, and he informed us that your next instructions have been transfigured into a black quill and hidden in the Slytherin common room. Failure to follow your instructions will result in severe punishment. R. At this point, we did not have all the information as to make a good guess at who is R, but over the few chapters, we have got more information. So we followed the notes and went into the Slytherin common room using Reducio to keep ourselves hidden, and once we were in there, we found the black quill. Upon leaving, we bumped into Snape, and he questioned us as to what we were doing there, and we told the truth. His response to the note that we found was the letter R. So I don't know why he questioned that, why he queried the letter R, because I don't know how R would be in any other way. Please give me any information that how R could be not a letter. Snape's reaction of saying that now all you be gone, I need to get an owl to the headmaster. Snape's priority to get an owl to the headmaster over punishing me, that seems pretty important. Like, this R is a big deal, and suggests that Snape either knows who R is or knows of R, in that he may have come into contact with some of his other notes in the past or some other messages that R has left in other ways, which means this person is a big deal whoever they are. Upon using Reparafage on the black quill, it turned it into a scroll. The instructions on that were that proceed to the farthest corridor at the east end of the 5th floor. Again, failure to follow your instructions will result in severe punishment. Signed, R. And in addition to that, it also gave instructions to transfigure this scroll back into a black quill and return it to the Slytherin common room. Now, I'm unsure what this means. It could mean that loads of people before us have actually found this black quill and used Reparafage and found the note and then followed the same series of events to uncover the cursed vault. So that brings us to the cursed vault. Now, what's important to mention is on the way to the cursed vault, we found Ben trapped in ice, suggesting that he had been exploring around there. Now, I'm still a little unsure as to what Ben was doing there, whether he was there by freak accident. Seems unlikely because he's not the type of person to go exploring on his own, being that he's afraid of everything. The fact that his memory was wiped was very convenient. And the room that we were exploring is one that Ben knows well, that he probably would have come in contact with the note, maybe got the black quill and followed the same process that we were doing to get to the cursed vault first. Once we'd reached the first vault, Shiny, or whoever you are, your avatar, had a vision, and in that we heard the voice of our brother Jacob. He said, I need to find his room and that there are 4 more vaults and we have to find them before her. Now we assume that this could be Jacob because it was his voice. Somebody else could have used some magic to be able to mask his voice, and but they seem to be a helpful vision to help us know that there are 4 more vaults and that we need to find them before her. Who that her could be? Well, it does obviously narrow our list of suspects. Who else is searching for the cursed vaults? We know that Rita is interested. Marula is definitely interested. We had Tulip Karas, who is also interested, and Penny is on our side, but hey, she probably wants to help get the cursed vaults as well. So there's a lot of suspects for who that her is. And then we get to the cursed vault and we find a book and a broken wand snapped in 2. Now, the assumption here is that it is Jacob's wand, which is backed up by the fact that if we go back to the first time we met Ollivander, he informed us that our brother had a fine wand and it was a shame that they snapped it in half when he was expelled. The book, on the other hand, we are unsure as to who that is. We know Jacob liked to scribble notes and has had a notebook. But in this book, all we find is scribbles and drawings by an artist who appears to have been quite mad. At the moment, the scribbles and drawings don't make sense. It doesn't seem that there was a code in there, like the one that we had to translate, have Rowan to help us with that R left us. So it's unsure who that actual book belongs to. Now, the second black quill that we encountered was when we went to see Madame Rose Murta, and she told us that before being taken, when Madame Rose Murta told us that before being taken, Jacob left one thing behind, and it was a black quill. Now, it could be that it was his quill, and he was the one that was leaving the quills, and he was R, or it could be a black quill that he actually found that belonged to R. However, when we used Parafage, it appeared to be my brother's notebook, filled with everything he'd learned about the cursed vaults. We had Rowan on hand to decode what has been said. I'll move my research to that abandoned room on the 5th floor to avoid Filch, Snape, and R. This gives us strong evidence that Jacob and R were around at the same time as Filch and Snape, and Jacob knew who R was, and that R was somebody that he had to avoid whilst being in search for the cursed vaults. The final bit of contact that we had with somebody who knew something about R was with Rita Skeeter, who, upon asking us what we knew about the cursed vaults, later asked us, do you know if he was involved with someone using the initial R? We then asked why. Does she know who they are? And she says she has some theories about who it is, but she's not exactly sure. So again, some mystery around who R is, even for Rita Skeeter. Now, whilst this gets into any direct contact that we had with dialogue involving the initial R, this doesn't mention all the bits around this, the storyline, the interactions with some of the characters that have given subtle clues here and there that they might be involved or could be involved, hypothetically, given the right set of circumstances. And some of you guys have come up with some really out there circumstances that could be true. But remember, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, somebody at the very beginning of the season made a joke on Twitter that somebody said, hold the door, that's what he's trying to say. That turned out to be true. So you could be one of those people who are actually getting this right. And we'll be getting into all those theories. But first, we're just going to look at who is the most popular, the top 5. And we're going to be counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of episodes over the next couple of days of all the evidence for and against if they are the person who is R. So this is everybody's answers put into a pie chart so we can see the percentages of what people thought. The top 5, obviously what we're most interested in going forward in the next couple of days, is the blue tile, the yellow, grey, orange and light blue tile. So let's start with the rare ones that people said. We've got Harry Potter. Very likely. Very, very, I feel like that's a trolling answer. We have Charlie Weasley, possible, but there is obviously the evidence that suggests that they were at school at the same time as Jacob. We have Rodolphus Lestrange in there as well. We have Rufus Scrimgeour. Then J.K. Rowling. Probably, I'm surprised why that is only 2%, only one person answered that. I mean, she could have chosen this opportunity to insert herself into one of her stories. Who knows? And then we have Roberta Swill. Going up from that, we have Remus Lupin. We have Rubius Hagrid, Ben Copper, surprisingly for me. I really have my doubts again about Ben Copper. By the way, at the end of this, I am going to do a video on who I think is the most likely. I'm not going to just sit on the fence about this. I'm going to give my guess going forward. Then we have Madame Rose Murta. We have Felix Rosier, the Slytherin prefect. And then we get into the top 5. So over the next couple of days, counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of 1 being the most popular, we'll be starting with Marula. Okay, so 7% of you said that Marula could be the R that we're looking for. Next we have Regulus Black, a very popular idea here. We know Regulus Black uses initials. Obviously in the locket it was RAB, but hey, he may have just changed it after people were like, can you put RAB, Regulus, because when you put R, we don't know it's you. Oh right, yeah, I'll do that from now on. Who knows? Then we have Tom Riddle. Okay, Voldemort himself Could it have been him who encountered the cursed vaults to begin with? We know that he had very good knowledge about Hogwarts. In second place, we have Rita Skeeter. Very popular theory, moving on to the third year in the last chapter that we have available. She gives us a lot of clues. Ooh, I have my doubts about that one. We'll be getting into that, definitely. And then most popular idea is Rowan Kana. 21% of you thought or think Rowan Kana is going to be the R that we're looking for. Hey, he is R. He is super knowledgeable. He knows how to interpret the code. So I see where people are coming from. And I think this is coming from the fact that Jam City, there was a statement, I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was about how along the way there may be friends that are involved in turning against us or not who they at least seem to be. I can't remember where I read it, but there's something like that, which would make sense why. I mean, Rowan would be a huge twist. For me, if Rowan turns out to be R and is against us, that will have the same kind of impact as if it's like finding out Hagrid's a Death Eater. God forbid. And so we will be beginning next episode with Marula. You know, we're still waiting for the next chapters to come out. Even if they do, I'll still keep the segments along the way. So be sure to look out for that in the future. Hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with that content and information. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. And thank you once again for everybody who commented on the video, everybody who commented on Facebook and Reddit. Thank you for your information. You'll be hopefully featuring in some of the future videos where I'll be putting screenshots of some of your comments, some of your names. So thank you. Okay, that's all for this one. See you soon.